We'll see how it goes. And there is some new pressure today on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as the feds say that fraud in his state could total $9 billion, up from the estimate of $1 billion. This thing is just absolutely exploding. We heard the $1 billion estimate a few weeks ago.
The magnitude of the fraud in Minnesota cannot be overstated. It's staggering amounts of money that have been lost. But it's not just about the money that's been stolen and wasted. This is a problem that's caused all of us to question what kind of state we live in.
Correspondent Mike Emanuel reporting live from D.C. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Martha. Yeah, the chairman of the powerful House Oversight Committee is demanding answers. James Comer says his committee is expanding its investigation into massive fraud and money laundering in Minnesota's social services programs. Comer's asking for records from the Treasury and Justice Departments, including suspicious activity reports and interviews with state officials. Comer says honest whistleblowers were ignored.
This is the $9 billion in Minnesota fraud schemes. So on the left-hand side is what this money was supposed to be for. And we'll go tight on here so you can see it. Feeding children, helping recovering addicts, helping disabled adults. This was during COVID for the most part. But the money went to wire transfers to China and East Africa, a villa in the Maldives, luxury vehicles, and designer jewelry. You can see the list here.
Martha, that is just absurd. I mean, Minnesotans have been fleeced to the tune of $9 billion. This is done from fraud right out of the Minnesota Capitol in St. Paul, as well as the policies that are being championed and brought across the finish line by the legislature. Both the legislature and the governor are at fault for the fraud and the constant policies that are taxing Minnesotans.
Well, I don't understand what difference that makes to anyone else. How would anyone else be approached or confronted if they stole money from someone? They would all be acknowledged and have to go forward with the consequences of their actions. You know, we're sitting here bearing the brunt of everything: tax hikes, gas taxes, property taxes, boating taxes, gas taxes. We can't go anywhere. We can't go fishing. And he's afraid to offend someone. Well, what about me? I know my town, we're all offended that we're paying for all of this fraud to go on, and it's just coming out now when they've known about it for years. What's going to happen now? And let's just call it what it is. It's stealing. It's not, It's stealing. You're stealing from the state of Minnesota. You're stealing from the taxpayers that make this state the great state that it is. And how are we going to recoup from that?
Welcome back, guys. When I first heard about this story from Minnesota, honestly, I was shocked. Not just because of the amount of money involved, but because of how long this problem seems to have been ignored. We are talking about fraud that was first estimated at around $1 billion and now has grown to nearly $9 billion. That number alone is hard to even imagine. $9 billion is not pocket change. This is taxpayer money, that is money meant to help real people. This money was supposed to be used for important programs like feeding children, helping people recover from addiction, and supporting communities that truly need help. Instead, according to investigators, some of that money was allegedly used for luxury lifestyles, expensive cars, fancy homes, and even international wire transfers. If these allegations are true, then this is not just a mistake. This is a massive betrayal of public trust. What makes this situation even more serious is the reaction from local leaders. Nearly 100 mayors from across Minnesota have come forward to criticize what they call reckless spending and mismanagement at the state level. These are not politicians from Washington. These are mayors who deal with real problems every single day. Roads, schools, water systems, police, fire services. They are the ones who feel the impact first. One mayor said that this kind of fraud makes it impossible for cities to plan responsibility. Another said it threatens their ability to maintain basic infrastructure and core services. Think about that for a moment. When state money is wasted or stolen, local governments are left holding the bag. And who ends up paying for it? Regular taxpayers. The mayors have even warned that because of this situation, cities might be forced to raise local taxes. That means families who are already struggling could end up paying more, not because of something they did wrong, but because leaders at the top failed to act. Then there are the accusations directed at Governor Tim Wills and Attorney General Keith Ellison. According to House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, whistleblowers warned state leaders about this fraud years ago. The claim is that those warnings were ignored. Comer says the governor and attorney general turned a blind eye. This is a very serious accusation. Governor Walz has pushed back, saying the 9 billion number is exaggerated and that is being used as a political weapon. But here is the problem where the number is 1 billion or 9 billion. Fraud is fraud. Even $1 billion stolen from public programs is unacceptable. Arguing about the exact number does not erase the damage that has already been done. Another part of this discussion has caused a lot of controversy. Some people have suggested that the governor may have been hesitant to act because many of the accused individuals came from Minnesota's Somali community. The idea is that he did not want to offend or politically aligned that group. One of the mayors strongly rejected this logic and called it absurd. And honestly, that mayor has a point. Stealing is stealing. If it does not matter who you are, where you come from, or what your background is. The law should apply equally to everyone. Protecting communities should never mean protecting criminals. In fact, allowing fraud to continue hurts those communities the most because it damages trust and creates stigma. Mayor Andrea Zupanch put it very clearly when she said that crime should be treated as crime, regardless of race or background. That is not hateful, that is fairness. Equal justice is not discrimination. It is the foundation of a functioning society. There was also criticism aimed directly at Attorney General Keith Ellison. One mayor pointed out that Ellison recently released a video about fighting scams and protecting Minnesotans. The mayor questioned how that message lines up with what is happening now. If billions of dollars were stolen under his watch, then people have the right to ask those questions. This situation highlights a bigger issue that goes beyond Minnesota. It is about accountability. When government programs grow rapidly and oversight is weak, fraud finds a way in. When warnings are ignored, problems multiply. And when leaders refuse to take responsibility, trust in government collapse. What is especially frustrating is that the money involved was meant to help the most vulnerable people. Children who need food, people trying to recover from addiction, families trying to rebuild their lives. When fraud steals from these programs, it is not just financial crime, it is moral failure. Local leaders are now speaking out because they are tired of being silent. They are tired of explaining to their residents why roads are falling apart or why budgets are tight. They are tired of being blamed for problems that started far above their level. This is not about left versus right. This is not about politics. This is about basic responsibility. This is about basic responsibility. If leaders were warned, they should have acted. If system fails, they should be fixed. And if crimes were committed, those responsible should be held accountable, no matter who they are. And at the end of the day, people expect their government to protect public money, not gamble with it. They expect honesty, transparency, and action. And when those expectations are not met, frustration turns into anger, and anger turns into distrust. Minnesota deserves better. Taxpayers deserve answers. And most importantly, the people who rely on these programs deserve justice. Because no matter who you look at it, stealing is stealing, and ignoring it only makes the damage worse. So thanks for watching my video. I will see you in the next video.